we're back here. Really nice, beautiful, rainy, wet.
Okay, picking it up here and warming.
Cold October day here in Southeast Michigan. Doing a little laundry room update. Obviously don't have any space in here. We're taking out sink, moving washer, stacking them on top of each other, putting them into this closet space. Gonna be doing some nice cabinets with a laundry sink built in, uppers, base, and countertop.
Now, there wasn't much of a demo video. It was pretty much just removing the washer and dryer and that laundry tub sink out of there. Here, I was just removed the drywall, had to plug up the plumbing, cap the drain off, and make sure that the plumbing was all set for the sink that was going to go on the countertop. Once we get the drywall patched in, it's time to start hanging some cabinets. This layout worked out that we could just have 3 27-inch cabinets across the top. Pretty basic units, but we're really just looking for some utility function. So I like to put a piece of wood up on the wall. It helps me hang these cabinets by myself. You just set it up there, put a clamp on it, and that pretty much holds them in place while you're setting the screws. I like to clamp my faces together, make sure they're flush before I drill the screws. Setting the base was kind of a pain in the butt. This plumbing was coming up out of the floor and the wall. I didn't want to have to cut the drain any further back. It was pretty close to the wall as is, so I was able to manipulate the lines well enough to get that to fit in there right without doing anything. Now, there was a plumbing pipe sticking out of the floor. I'm notching the toe kick out of this cabinet to make that fit. It worked pretty well. You'll never see that notch out of there as it's just a toe kick. The floor wasn't level at all, which is pretty common in pretty much every house we deal with. Take some time, be patient, and you'll get it right. In the end, it turned out nice and level and all in plane with each other, so the countertop's sitting there right. Next comes putting back in all the doors and drawers on the cabinets. Test fit everything. I can get everything lined up nice so that when we put the hardware on there, we can make sure everything's fitting good in there. So the reason behind this project was to have a more functional laundry room, which they did not have before. They had a real lack of counter space, which was unnecessary, for they had the room to do it. It just wasn't set up well from the start. I don't mind painting so much. Some contractors hate it, but it's a good way to finish off the project. They chose this color. They're actually going to change the rest of the house to this. I think it contrasted nice with the cabinets and then the countertop that we chose to put in there. This is just a basic laminate countertop, pretty inexpensive. I took a bunch of measurements from the walls in there. I didn't template. A lot of countertops get templated, but if you take your time, measure correctly, you'll have no problem. So I just cut it and then put a back cut on it with my oscillator to make it slide in there easier. Sometimes I just use a cardboard cutout as a template for a sink. It seems to work pretty well. You do have to sometimes cut out extra for the faucet. The sink dropped right in.
Here comes the moment of truth.
It was a little tight when I went to fit it in that back corner, but I'm fine with that. Since we're not doing any side splashes on this, I wanted to have it fit really tight. Hey, I wonder why it's not opening. Here's a tip though. When you're setting a countertop, make sure you pull all your tools out from the top drawer before you set it. Kind of a pain in the butt. Now these laminates mount pretty easy. You just throw some screws from underneath and that's all there is to it. Here I'm just finalizing plumbing connections and mounting the sink and finishing up some last minute paint before we can put the laundry in there. One thing I didn't get video of was installing the laundry box that's in the wall to the right of me there. That has the drain and the water supply lines in it. This is Steve. He's been helping me for a while now. You'll be seeing more of him in future videos. The washer and dryer fit pretty good in this former closet location. So We didn't paint the wall yet, so if we did any more damage to it when we were sliding these back in, we could fix it before we painted. In the end, they were happy with how it turned out. It didn't take a long time. It wasn't a ridiculous amount of money, and everyone was happy. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to stay grateful, and thanks for the support.